Okay, guys. Okay, this is actually, I know it's Unit 8 in your book. I think this might have kicked some of your butt. How's it going?
Hello.
This might have kicked your butt last try. Guys, this is Unit 8 in your book. It is Unit 7 in your, no, 6. Unit 6 on Canvas and on the homework. Because last unit, guess what last unit was? Unit 5. Good job. Who said that? Lyndon, you're so smart. Last unit was Unit 5. So now we're going to do Unit 6. Okay, it's statistics. Statistics is different than anything you've ever done before. Okay? Statistics is like math meets language arts. Okay, there's a lot of vocabulary. There's a lot of words in this unit. Okay? It's some of you will really, really like statistics. Some of you will really, really not like statistics. I fit actually in the not category. Not a big fan. But we get to learn it. We get to teach it. Okay, guys, everybody shut up. I don't know why there's so much talking. Please stop. Thank you. Okay, right here. First definition. Okay, if you look in your book, right here we have all of the vocabulary that we have to know for the test. All of those words. So in your notebooks, I would write all of those words. I'll do it too. I'll do it with you. It won't just be fun.
Wait.
I'll write them, Franny. We'll do this together. Categorical value. If I were you, I would be writing these in your pretty purple notebooks. Do you guys get the function of the pretty purple notebooks? Mm-hmm. Math is not a class that you... Thank you. It's not a class that you usually get a lot of practice taking notes. I'm trying to teach you how to take notes in a math class. Okay? It's expected that you'll be able to take notes when you guys move on to real math classes. Like in college, they just expect that you'll be able to take notes. Okay? So, what I would do if I were taking notes on the statistics unit, I would start with everything that I'm writing down. If I'm writing it down, I expect you to. Parameter.
You can't see.
You can't see. It's right there, dude. Parameter. Then it is population. Quantitative. That's hard. That's lots of words, lots of letters. Quantitative. Quantitative variable. Sample. Statistical question. And statistical variable. Oh, statistic. I skipped statistic. That's awkward. Statistical. I'm the world's worst speller. Okay, so we're going to go through, and in the notes, we'll have each one of these examples will be defined. Like on 393, it says statistical question right here at the bottom of page 393. And it says a statistical question can be answered by, so can be answered answered by collecting many pieces of information. And the many pieces of information summarize the data. So an example of a statistical question is, how many people what is the average height of the people in this class? I would guess by looking at all you short people, we're around 5 feet tall. Because you're all little. An example of a non-statistical question would be, how long did it take you to get to school today? Even though that can be answered with a number that is a statistic, it is not a statistical question. Okay? You could relate that to, how long does it usually take you to get to school? That would be a statistical question. Because we're talking about more than one data point. Do we need to talk about data point? What would data be? Or data? What is data? What's up, Hippers? You're freaking me out a little bit. You keep looking at me. What is data? Information? That's pretty much data.
Isn't that the smart kid from the Goonies?
From the Goonies?
Yeah. Isn't his name Data?
I don't think so. There's a guy on like a Star Trek that's named Data. Star Trek is stupid, yes. I agree with that. So look at the example 1. It says, consider the following question. In what month is your birthday? Is that a statistical question or is that a non-statistical question? Why is it not statistical? Oh, it doesn't have to. So you could be like, a statistical question would be, how many people in this class have like brown hair? Okay, brown hair is not numerical, but it is still statistical. So like, how many people in this class, what's up? You sit over there. I can't remember the people's names who you sit by, so I'm terrible. You need to get a book and a disclosure. Here's the disclosure. There's a book. Will you write down the book number that you have on this fancy piece of paper, please? And do you have a pretty purple notebook? Yes. So, what month has the most birthdays of students at your school? That's a really weirdly worded sentence, but you get the idea. What month has the most birthdays? Is that statistical or not statistical? The answer is not numerical, right? The answer would be a certain month. But is it statistical? And what makes it statistical versus the last one, where what month is your birthday? I'm going to wait. I'll start calling on people.
Gathering different groups of data
I think you're on the right track. You are on the right track and you're saying the right thing, but you're saying it kind of a little bit differently than I would word it. So, Kylie, what did you say? You don't want to say it again?
I don't remember.
So I think you said gathering groups of data instead of just yourself. So the difference, what month is your birthday? Your answer would be whatever month. And you only have one data point. Okay? For the other one, you have a group of data that you're analyzing to figure out which one has the largest number of them. Does that make sense? So it has to do with gathering, actually. Does that make sense, you guys? Are we okay? We're going to love statistics. Okay, let's look at this other example where it says try it. Which of the following most popular visual art form Which is the most popular form of art? Photography, painting, sculpting, or drawing?
Painting.
When we obviously know the answer is drawing. But is that a statistical question? Right here. Is that a statistical question? I don't think it's a statistical question. How many lithographs were created by the artist Escher? Is that a statistical question?
No.
I don't think that one is either. Okay, we're not doing compiling a bunch of data to find the answer. It's just one answer. And it can be really confusing. It's not, like a lot of statistics is not really straightforward. And it's a lot of the times it's open to interpretation. Okay, statistical variable. Your next definition. Statistical variable is a quantity or quality that can be measured or counted, and for which the data are expected to differ from one observation to another. Okay, statistical variable. Okay, can be measured. And we expect two main groups. Two main groups are categorical and quantitative. Categorical. A categorical question or a categorical variable would be an example of a categorical variable is it's non-numerical, like I said about how many people in here have brown hair. Or even 2/3 of the people in this class have brown hair. That's a categorical variable. Or the half of the people in this class, their favorite color is red. Okay, even though we're dealing with numbers like half of the class, that's how it's being counted. That's how we're collecting and compiling data and comparing it. Okay? But the categorical has to do with the kind of question that we're asking, not with how much of that data that we have. So categorical, they fall into categories. That's a dumb definition where you use the word in the definition. But I'm going to say fall into groups. Like an example would be favorite color. Or city you were born in. Okay, the quantitative variable is over here. Quantitative variable, it's something that has a numerical data. Quantitative variable has numerical data. Like our answer will be, the average height of the person in this room, the answer would be a number. 5'3". Because you all are short. Is there anybody 6 feet in here? 3 people? Yeah, you guys are short. 4 people? So, numerical data would be like average class size. Or, what's a really important, looks like the only number in here that you guys actually care about? 2. What's the number that you guys care about in here? Why are you here? Why are you guys here? Be honest, why are you guys here?
Women.
Because the district makes you?
Because the government.
What?
For a grade.
For a grade. You guys care about your grades. Grades. Okay? Grades can be categorical or they can be numerical. How can that be? You get a letter grade, which is categorical, A, B, C, or D. And then it can be numerical, like the percentage. Does that make sense, you guys? All right. Population. Population. A population is not the people surveyed. Like if I did a survey and I asked high school students, but it's impossible really to ask all high school students. Do you guys get what I'm saying? If I were to do a nationwide survey of how many people, what high school students use, I don't know, like Droid or iPhone, right? High school students prefer which kind of phone? Do you get what I'm saying? This is that quantitative data or categorical? Why is it categorical? Because the phones themselves are not a number, right? It's just an iPhone or a Droid, right? But so I want nationwide survey. Is it possible for me to ask every single high school student in the country?
It would take a lot of time.
It would take a lot of time and it would cost a lot of money. But I can ask some of the high school students, and if I do it correctly, I can get a pretty good idea of what high school students in the country prefer. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, the population would be high school students. Even though I couldn't possibly ask all high school students, the population is still high school students.
Mm-hmm.
So the population would be, let's see how the book, quantities representing as, it doesn't have a good definition. You know, friend, sometimes. Population is down here. The group of in statistics, the set of all members of a group that you want to know. So I'm going to call a population the group represented. I think my definition is better than the book's.
Mm-hmm.
It's the group represented in a study.
Mm-hmm.
Say it's not the people that you asked. That's a very different thing. That actually is the sample. The sample is the people surveyed in a study. Like in the case of asking all of the high school students, the people that I actually got a hold of and asked them what kind of phone they like, that would be the sample. So like in here, if I randomly picked 5 students and asked them, the people that I asked would be those 5 random students. Those 5 random students would be the sample. See, sample is statistical question. Parameter is a measure. Parameter is a measure that best describes the population. So in my parameter, I would say high school students. That would be my population. The parameter could be, I don't know, how old are you guys when you start high school? 14? 14 to 18-year-olds? Mm-hmm. Could be a parameter. Or, can't think of another example of a parameter. A statistic is a measure that describes the sample of the population. So let's look at the try it. Let's do the first example here. Okay, so the question is this and it's right here, example 4 in your book on page 396. Is it a statistic or a parameter? So a high school has three lunch periods. A randomly selected lunch period, 24% of the students brought lunch from home. Is that a statistic or a parameter? I feel like that's for any. I can pretty much just go with whatever you say and switch it, and then it would be the right answer. You're killing it, dude.
Thank you.
Okay, 24% of students brought lunch from home. That's a statistic. A parameter would be like between this and this. At the end of its first year of business, a movie theater collected data on how well its concessions stands operated that year. The theater used its total yearly concessions sales and number of tickets sold to calculate that the main amount spent at a concession was 8.14. Is that a statistic or a parameter? So it says this value is a parameter since the theater included all moviegoers to determine how well the concession stand is doing. What's up? No. Is the given data summary a parameter or statistic? 53.2 of a district's eligible voters voted for the sitting U.S. House of Representatives. Is that a statistic or a parameter? Oh, you got one right, Francisco. Okay, the median age of a car in 20 randomly selected spaces is the school parking lot is 7 years. Is that a statistic or a parameter? Do we get the difference?
Yes.
Francisco says yes. Okay, so your homework assignment is 2 through 22 on page 397.
Listen, do you understand?
It says error analysis, number 2. Right there, dude. On page 397, error analysis, number 2.
Oh.
2 through 22. This will not take you very long. Most of these questions are pretty straightforward. You guys, what day is it today?
Monday.
Today's Monday. When is this assignment due?
Wednesday.
This assignment is due on Wednesday. Everybody, you guys need to listen.